This is your quarterfinal round of the Scotiabank CONCACAF Champions League preview. Gareth Wheeler alongside Eric Giacometti. We're ready for this. The first leg of the round of 8 tie, Toronto FC and Tigres of Mexico. This is a marquee tie any way you put it in this competition. And the focus really in this market solely on Toronto FC. Eric, they lose in the regular season home opener 2-0 on Saturday. Back at it Wednesday. But this is a different competition and a completely different approach for TFC.
It's a good opportunity for Toronto FC to bounce back. As you mentioned, it's a completely different competition, different challenges, and against the Tigres side that's going to be looking to come out here and set the tempo in the first leg on the road. It's a good chance for them to reset and try to find a new way to start their, kind of a new season here with the Champions League, something that no team has ever done in MLS, winning the competition. So all of their focus is on that right now.
And I think it's good news for Toronto FC. You got another 90 minutes of competitive football under your belt, playing against a team that's 10 games into their clausura as part of their Liga MX season. For Toronto FC, though, plenty to build from, even though they did lose. It came close to scoring multiple times in the second half. What have you liked from what you've seen from this Toronto FC team?
Yeah, they're still building. This is obviously very early in the season, just one game in the regular season. But, I'm interested to see how Gregory Vanderweel continues to build into this side. He's still, learning the setup, learning how things are done here at Toronto. And, another new signing, Giacometti, really liked what I saw from him coming into the heart of that midfield. He's able to pull the strings. You can see he's very crafty, linking with Victor Vasquez, Jonathan Osorio, players like that. So to see what those guys can do against the Liga MX side, I think is going to be very interesting to see.
I think Sebastian Giovinco's work rate has been phenomenal. Jonathan Osorio coming off of Budweiser, man of the match performance as well. There's plenty of positives when it comes to this team. And obviously Drew Moore rested on the weekend with eyes for this tie. Victor Vasquez left Saturday's matchup. He's being described as day-to-day with a hip injury. Here's head coach Greg Vanny on his status.
Train today, day today, train today, and we'll see how he responds as we go into tomorrow. With Vic, he got treatment and he did the things he needed to do, and today he went out and trained. So now we'll see what sort of the testing, how he responds tonight, tomorrow, all that kind of stuff. But he got through the session, and that's a positive thing.
There will be difficult conditions for what is deemed to be the top Mexican side in this competition as they descend on Toronto. Could be flurries, a little snow in the forecast. It's going to be chilly down there at BMO Field. And perhaps that's a great equalizer here, Eric. A team that's right at the beginning of their season playing a team that's already rounded into form.
Right, so that Tigres is going to have their legs underneath them, as you mentioned, in the middle of their season. But, we know Mexican teams have their home field advantages, especially when you look at clubs like Club America with the altitude that they can, impose on teams. Here in Toronto, we have the weather, so that's going to be something they're probably not too used to, dealing with the cold weather, the wind coming off Lake Ontario. So we'll see how they can acclimatize to BMO Field on Wednesday.
They have very good attacking talent, internationals across the board. Ener Valencia, the Ecuadorian, Eduardo Vargas, the Chilean, but obviously Andre Pierre Gignac, one of the top players in Liga MX, the Frenchman, 7 goals in 10 games thus far in this section of their season.
Yeah, he's the danger man. When you talk about Tigres, it's all about Andre Pierre Gignac up top. Spoke with Chris Mavinga yesterday, a player who's played against Andre Pierre Gignac in France, and that he knows how to deal with a crafty player like Gignac in the box, in and around that area. He's dangerous, getting shots away on goal, so you have to make sure you bottle him up because everything goes through him.
He is a big body. Now this Tigres side, very attack-minded, attack-oriented. They're down to just their third choice right back after losing Guti Estrada over the course of the weekend. Tigres also played on Sunday night. TFC played Saturday. There's small margins when it comes to this juncture of the competition, Eric.
Yeah, I'm interested to see how Greg Vanny handles this in terms of squad rotation because we know that the Champions League is a priority here for TFC. How does he go about the 18, then the starting 11 as well? Who is he going to put in there? You mentioned Drew Moore getting the rest. Does he come back into the side? So we'll see how fresh these legs are in the early part of the season.
And formation could be a question as well. Toronto FC always quick, always seemingly a step ahead. Does Greg Vanny stay with the 4-4-2 in the midfield diamond or play the 3-5-2 that brought the team so much success last season? We're about to find out. This could go down as one of the biggest nights at BMO Field over the course of the season, and there still are a few tickets available. It's the first leg of the quarterfinal round of the Scotiabank CONCACAF Champions League. Toronto FC and Tigres you can watch on TSN.